I need this on because I need you to see the full brunt of my disappointment and anger. All right, yeah, no, you could say that. You could lie to yourself.
Yeah, I lie to myself every
yeah.
single day. Listen, I've got hot water too, Nichole, okay?
Yeah? Well, one of these things is going to be good, and one of them tastes like mac and milk. Frisbee?
But, like, I admire your dedication that you, like, did it. Oh. Did Tom take some too, or was it just you?
He did, and he said, and I quote, "It's not awful," to which I replied, "I'm done with you." And then he said, "It would be better without the milk." And I said, "Yeah, I know. It was good before the milk."
That's just noodles, and that doesn't count.
No. This is the most disappointing thing I've eaten all day.
No, there have to be more disappointing things than that. I don't think you made it right, Nichole.
It's mac and milk! How do you make it wrong? I followed it to the G. I even microwaved it.
No, I think you did it wrong. I don't think it's right.
Okay, all right, yeah, sure.
Oh
I'm just documenting my journey on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you really?
Yeah, I was.
That's so funny. Why do I have to pull it up? Oh no. The whole thread. The recipe card is fucking killing me. It's so good. Oh. If I was following my heart, I wouldn't be making mac and milk. Wow, that was a lot of dedication. I hope you're updating it to be like, anyway, so that was the best thing I've ever had in my life.
I'm not.
Why?
Because it's not.
No, I think you made it wrong, Nichole. I'm looking at this thread and I'm like, something has to be amiss, right? Something has to be wrong because clearly
one of us has a delusional thought on food. And I thought it was me, but I guess it's not.
No, listen. All right, fine.
I'm listening.
All right,
yeah,
fine.
Yeah. All right,
I've got my hot. What? Have we even started the interview? What's going on?
No.
Okay.
I have my squirt to make up for everything.
Okay. Was that your dinner? Is that your main sustenance?
No, because Tom is an angel and made me eggs and bacon.
I did see bacon on your stove when you sent that through. I was like, oh, they're making bacon. I was like, mac and milk might be good with bacon in it.
No. I mean, no. You know what it'd be good with? Cheese. It'd be good with cheese.
Yeah.
You know what that would make it? Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Is what that would make it, yeah.
But it's not the same. The essence, Nichole, you're not thinking desperation enough. Okay?
You're right. I'm not.
You're not sad enough to be consuming mac and milk.
Clearly not. Even though last week I made macaroni and cheese and Tom got back and I was like, I'm just making, it was my depression mac and cheese.
I approve.
That's why I made the
great.
swirly noodles and not the elbows.
Yeah. No, swirly noodles are superior. Wait, are you saying they're better? Okay, they are better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay, just
they're real
making
good.
sure we're on the same page.
Oh yeah, we're on the exact same page there for that and that alone.
I admire your dedication. Should I try, Amos? Should I be trying
a superior food thing? Yeah, absolutely. The water does have to be boiling though, so you're already like behind a step.
But this is like I did boil it and it's in a like thermos.
That's fine. It's just if you don't like it, it's probably your fault.
I don't.
You also have to be like real quick. You have to be real quick. Like take, dip, real quick swish out. It doesn't disintegrate if you do it right. It doesn't fall apart.
I told you I did this before, right? Like I filmed it. I can put footage somewhere.
And I think you like disintegrated it, right?
Yeah, it was really fucking soft.
Yeah, you can't let it get really fucking soft.
Then what is the point? I can't get this thermos open. I'm alarmed. Oh my god.
Oh no.
I have to go have Josh open this. See, do you see how hot that is?
Okay, that is really hot. I mean, you've got
really fucking hot.
You've got part of it down, I guess.
I got the bag. Did you ever have the little bags as a kid, or was
I did.
Yeah,
I always had the little bags, yeah.
Have we Are Amos cookies like a New York thing? Like, why do I only know?
I don't know, because like a lot of people are like, "What's famous Amos?" I'm like,
Right.
"What do you mean, what's famous Amos?" No, you know what? They're not, because I first had them in Maryland. Maybe they're an East Coast thing.
They might be. I only know East Coast people, specifically New York people, who are like, "Oh, those are so good."
I like them. I like them with or without water. It's just I was at work. I was desperate. I wanted it to be a little soft. So I dipped it in hot. Listen, this was when I worked at Chevy Chase Bank in Maryland. Who knows what I was thinking? Anyways, it's dip, swish, swish, very quick in the mouth.
I'm gonna burn my mouth.
You're not gonna burn your mouth. Really quick, real quick.
That was so quick.
Okay. And it should be just a little soft. It shouldn't be disintegrating, but when you put it in your mouth, it should actually like be nice and warm. And if you did it quick enough, it doesn't taste like water because it doesn't really get a lot of water to soak up. It just gets a little to make the chocolate. Yeah?
Nichole.
Yeah. What?
Nobody is mad about the temperature of the Amos, okay? The fact that it's hot is fine. It's that you use water.
All I had was water and a coffee machine. All I had was water.
Nichole, you
make mac and milk. You put milk in macaroni noodles.
You just proved to me
this.
you own milk though, right? Like, so it's not like you only have water now.
Now I don't make this anymore. This was a very, very 2005 Nichole.
You don't make
back
this
when
anymore?
I was young
You telling
and
me you don't
full of life.
eat
I did
hot
actually
Amos anymore?
I did have one at SGDQ, and I did make Barry have it.
And what was the consensus?
He said it wasn't bad.
It's not, but it's the principle of the thing.
I also have made Tom have it.
Yeah, what's Tom say?
I don't remember. It was, well, I think when he did it, it was too soft, but like he did it himself and fucked it up, need I say. And it was his birthday, so I was like extra nervous. I was like,
You almost ruined his birthday.
I almost ruined his birthday. Like I was in a Discord with Barry and all them, and I was like, "Oh no, he's asked about Hot Amos," and they're like, "What? Are you nervous, Nichole?"
You're like, yeah, we don't know each other that well anymore. We're not there yet.
He's like, I said, not on his birthday, not like this. And just someone goes, "Why? Are you afraid? Do you know you'll be proven wrong?" I was like, "He kept it in too long, the fucker." And someone goes, "Sure, blame him." Whatever you feel validates your wrongdoings.
Oh my god. But he obviously he stuck around, so you didn't totally scare him off or ruin his birthday.
I didn't scare him off or ruin his birthday yet.
I think the next thing you have to try is blended pizza, though. Pizza smoothie.
Do I?
Yeah, I think you do.
I think I think I would hate it. I already hate the video. No. I do hate the video and everything about the video. Up to and including the fact that you called it a pizza Dippin' Dots, I think might be my least favorite thing.
Dippin' Dots.
I'm sorry. Italian Dippin' Dots.
Yeah. And it's good. That's the texture of it. Is kind of loose, kind of like a trifle or like a. Oh my god! You know what I could do is take the pizza crumbles and make cake pops.
No, you couldn't. That's an awful idea.
You know, it's cake pops are like that consistency, and then you crumble them together with some frosting. I just throw a little bit of some sort of cheese in there. Cake pops.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I think I'm gonna do that. Okay.
I sighed while I was making this mac and milk, by the way. I was waiting for it to boil more than once.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just looking at him and Tom at one point was like, "The noodles are only almost ready, a couple minutes." I was like, "I'm gonna go put eyeliner on, and I don't care if the noodles are a little overdone because there's no saving this. There's no redemption arc for this." And the noodles came out perfect, and the butter noodles were so good. I was like, "Oh man, I could keep eating this. This is really good." But unfortunately, I have to add the main ingredient, which unfortunately, to use the word twice in one sentence, is milk.
Yeah, it is.
I even got 2% milk. I was like, "No, we are not doing skim for this. We are not doing fat-free milk for this.
No, that seems like a bad idea.
This has to be 2%." And I'll tell you, it didn't save it. I did not.
I think maybe
Did
you
not
didn't
know.
put enough salt on it, Nichole.
There's so much salt and pepper. It's so like the flavor brilliant before the milk. Oh my god, it was so good. I was like, these are the best butter noodles I've ever made.
Yeah.
Now to completely fuck them up. I'm so excited for this.
You just
Anyways, how are you?
Yeah,
now
I'm
that
doing
you've ruined
so
my
well.
life.
Doing so well.
Good.
I haven't like introduced you at all or like anything that's going on. So if you would like to tell people who you are and what you do.
Sure. Putting my squirt in my nondescript holder. Hello, I'm Nichole Goodnight. I voice things and I play games and I voice in games, and that's who I am. And I also make mac and milk against my better thoughts and dreams and hopes.
And I didn't ask you to do that, just to be clear for everybody.
To be clear,
Nichole
you
was
did
like,
not ask me
I'm
to do
making
that.
mac and milk. Not only were you making mac and milk today, but you were ready to make it last Monday when you thought we were talking last
I super
Monday.
was.
And I think, what did you just text me? Famous Amos? No, Hot Amos.
Hot Amos.
With no context. And I was
No
like,
context. Just Hot Amos.
like I was going to forget. And then
Yeah.
I was like, Nichole, you know that's not tonight, right? And you were like, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. I know
100%. I definitely wasn't ready to jump on a call.
With mac and milk in
one.
hand.
Not me. Mm-mm.
No.
No.
But you did, and I admire that wonderful dedication. I appreciate
Thanks.
you.
It's real bad.
It's real bad. So, you and I met through GDQ.
We did.
Through Host Fam. And you have been a part of GDQ a little bit longer than me. I know you didn't mention that in your little spiel. We'll get to the gaming stuff and the voice stuff in just a minute. But I kind of want to hear about how you got involved with GDQ, because I know you have kind of a cool, to me it's a cool story because you came out of nowhere.
I did come out of nowhere. In fact, I had never seen GDQ before AGDQ 2019. And I watched it. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I was talking to my friend Calvin about it. He's one of my closest friends. He's like, you should host for it. And I was like, what do you mean I should? What does that even mean? He's like, do you hear how the people are reading donations? I was like, yeah, they're really neat. I love, like, there's a bunch of really cool voices on the mic. He's like, you should do that. I was like, there's 0% chance I could ever do that. And he's like, just try, look into it. See what I was like, all right, I'll look into it. So SGDQ comes around and the auditions open up. And I'm like, you know what's the worst they can say? So I submit an audition and then I became a host. So it was my first time auditioning and I got in first time and I had like literally no idea what to expect. I didn't really know anyone in the scene. I didn't know anything about anything. I was just like, I'm going to Minnesota.
Yeah. The hub of all things gaming, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So I did, and I loved it, and I applied every year since and didn't get in AGDQ 2020, and I did sob in my car. That's a little Nichole lore.
I do remember distinctly you talking about that, like when we were auditioning for maybe AGDQ 20 or SGDQ 2022. I don't know. We had a conversation. You were like, so I remember this specific year when I didn't get in and I cried a lot in my car. Like, were you driving when you got the email and you pulled over and were sobbing? That story is funny now, but I'm sure
at the time it was really sad.
It's very sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it was really sad.
You are one of the like people I consider like a GDQ staple. Like your voice on mic is so notable, and people love you and they love the memes in particular. Specifically Catternies. Yes. So I
got a tattoo of.
That's right. I think you probably have a picture on your Instagram, which I'll put up here.
I do.
Where did that come from? I don't think I know the lore of Catternies.
Oh, yeah. So let me set the scene for you.
Okay.
The year 2014. Pokemon XY comes out and it's amazing. It introduces something called Wonder Trade, where you can trade away a Pokemon of any type and breed and level and get something in return of any type and breed and level. So I put in like a level 30 something, and I was like, I'm so excited to get like a brand new level 30 Pokemon. I can't wait. I hope it's a version exclusive. And in comes the silhouette of a Caterpie, and I'm like, this fucking sucks. But then like the text comes through and it's like, blah, 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 you have received knees. And I was like,
what?
They named the Caterpie knees, and I thought this was the best thing in the whole entire world because Caterpies do not canonically have knees. And I just thought this was great. I got a plush commissioned of knees.
Oh,
I
did you really?
I did back in 2014. I
Oh.
did. And everything about knees made me happy. So fast forward to SGDQ 2020. They're like doing Pokedex donations, and I'm trying to get a push for the next goal. And I'm like, I'm going to bring up Caterpie because Caterpie is number 10 in the Pokedex. Really easy train number. And it's a really cute story to boot. So I tell this story, and someone sends in a donation that's like, this $10 is to get Caterpie a pair of knees, I think. And so like started flooding the fan art of Caterpie either shopping for knees or having knees. And it just became like this whole thing. Like I said, I got one on my body forever permanently. And then the next time I hosted for a Pokemon game, there was Weedle with elbows, thanks to Humphrey. God love that man.
That's very on brand.
And then like people started putting in other curses like Venonec.
Oh, that's that's disturbing. I don't like that.
Very upsetting. But in the SGDQ 2020 run, I think it was, one of the runs, we ended up meeting the goal for the DLC, and then they ended up naming I think it was a whale lord, Caternies.
Oh.
And thus is the story of Caternies, originated in 2014 by someone who probably has no idea what impact they've made on the world.
Yeah.
Like, zero clue.
But it's like part of the canon now. Like it's part of GDQ lore that your little Caternies is now forever a part of the memes. And that's so fucking cool.
And when my tattoo artist was doing it, she's just like smiling and doing a little giggle every now and then. She's like, this is so cute. I'm like, thank you.
I love that so much.
Super undercharged me for it. So I tipped her like way big time because like when I say she undercharged me, she like
barely asked for any
money. I'm like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Get what you're worth. So she's
that's so
phenomenal.
Nice.
She's so good.
That's amazing.
But I love my little Caterpie. He's got a little heart. I love him very much.
That's so sweet. And yes, I will put up a picture here as we talk about Caternies. Right there. Standing on Nicole's hand. There it is. When I first met you, you did not consider yourself a speedrunner. And
I did not.
I think that's real funny because you were speedrunning games. You did have a run in GDQ at some point before like you really started like getting hard into runs like the last few years.
Yeah, so my first run on, I think it was either Flame or Frost, was The Lion King on SNES, which was the first game that I ever speed ran. Funny enough, my first game was going to be Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, Curse of the Moon, the one that's 2D. They're both 2D. The old school looking one, which is completely blanking on which one it is. It was going to be that, but I'm really bad at like switching characters to do certain things. So I was like, fuck it. What's another game that I played? Like a game that I actually played as a child. I was like, The Lion King. I loved that game as a kid. I played it a lot. And so I learned the speedrun of it and ran that for Frame Fatales at some point. And I also commentated on it for another runner. And then I was like, I met Bath and Jan at SGDQ 2019, and like 6 months later, Humphrey was like, we should all play Faz together when it comes out, because it came out in, I want to say September 2020. So it came out, and we started playing it together, and Humphrey was like, we should speedrun this.
Of course.
And so we did. And that's how like Bath and Jan, like deep Bath and Jan Nichole lore, that's how we became like the best of friends, is because we were playing Phasmophobia like every fucking day together. And then like, so I did that. I did Crowtail renovations before Phasmophobia, but I've only ran it a little. It's a very cute game about a crow that's renovating a hotel. Adorable.
I'm looking it up.
It's quite cute. And the speedrun is like not that hard. Very cute game. And then, gosh, what else did I think? Oh, Golf It, of course, which I ran at SGDQ 2023.
Which was a blast. That was like everyone's
so fun.
Everyone and you did not like, you didn't get lucky with the fact that like we were running so behind. So like already you had an early run, and then it got pushed to what, 4 in the morning? Like
it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. It was
absolute
big,
goblin hours.
Early goblin hours.
And your vibes
stood for ball stuff. Like
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, sometimes we like to
Thank
plead
you
with the
so
ball.
much.
That often helps a lot, as oftentimes the ball is listening.
If you talk to the ball,
Yeah.
that it honestly works out for the better. Because a lot
Yeah.
of these courses can be a lot of BS, which stands for ball stuff.
It does stand for
Ball
ball
stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
It's
Doesn't
true.
stand for anything else.
Bath and Jan and I are there being
Oh.
absolute chaos monsters, and Barry and Tom are there like trying to reel us in. Well, Barry was trying to reel us in.
Yeah.
Tom was like low-key encouraging it when he called Robert Frost Billy Chili, which like to this day I'll never forget.
That's very
Um,
funny.
Bath's sister was there, Greg, who was off camera, but our emotional support Greg.
Yeah,
Greg is
yeah.
amazing. But like at one point I said maybe she's bored with it, maybe it's balls and holes. And Barry's like, anyways, so on this level we introduce mine carts, and Bath is like, no. Barry, don't go back. Nichole, what?
Yeah.
We were meant for this.
Yeah, we were both born to do this, definitely. Yeah.
Maybe we're born with it. Maybe it's balls and holes.
Nichole?
So welcome to the mines.
Hold on. Do you want to run that by me again?
So in the mines, we
So yeah, we couldn't be contained.
The whole vibe of that run was just ultimate chaos. And I
Very
like
good.
that was the first time I had really seen like you and Bath interact. And that was the first time really I'd met Bath was that week. And like it's wild to me that you met in 2019 because it feels like you guys have been friends forever. Like those are the vibes
Same
you guys
though,
put
like
out.
it feels that way for me too. I absolutely adore Bath. Like I would do anything for Bath and Jan. I love them. But they could call me tomorrow and tell me that they murdered someone and they needed my help, and I would help them. No question. They Bath and Jan wouldn't murder someone without it being necessary. So like I have no questions. I
Yeah.
will only help.
That's very wholesome. I love that
I adore
friendship so
Bath and
much.
Jan so much.
That's amazing. Besides Golf It, you said you've done Phasmo, you've done all sorts of stuff. You just started running one recently.
Yeah,
that you like love.
Haven.
Yeah, tell me about
I
Haven.
started running Haven. So Haven is a co-op game, which is adorable. And if you've never played it, you should. And whoever's watching this, if you've never played it, you should. It's about a young couple that comes from a society that dictates who you're supposed to marry. They're set to marry other people. You is set to marry a dictator, and Kay is set to marry someone else, but they love each other. So they run away on a little spaceship that you has, and they crash on, or they land on a planet, and they start building their life there. Well, eventually they make a little bit of a fucky-wucky, and they touch a signal machine that sends a signal off, and suddenly now the apiary knows that there's someone on this planet, and they've got a pretty good clue of who it is. So the game follows you and Kay as you are building your life together, and even when you're playing solo, it tries to simulate the fact that you're playing with someone, because like if you're cooking, you have to put in two things and you uses one side of the pad and the other side of the pad. It's very good. And like when you're crafting in general, but the interactions between them are very real and very, very good. Anytime you find an item, they have an interaction. Whenever you cook anything, they have a special interaction for it. And the story is just very, very good. I played this with Tom, I think back in like March. And I loved it. Like we got to the end of the game, I was sobbing. I thought he didn't know. He knew.
Oh, of course.
I was just a mess because like the soundtrack is phenomenal. It's by Danger. And there was two songs in particular that always made me kind of like teary to begin with. It was called The Beginning of Something and I Can't Stay Mad at You. And also Until the End of Time, which is a remix of The Beginning of Something and a whole bunch of other things. So let me set the scene for you. The game starts and the opening sequence, beautiful, watercolor, brilliant. The song that's playing on the game select screen is The Beginning of Something. So already we're off to a phenomenal start. In the game, again, it explores Kay and Yu's relationship. They have a fight. Cue the song I Can't Stay Mad at You. Okay, I'm fine. So that, like, I'm already fucked. The game ends. And you're in the last parts of the game, and until the end of time is playing. And I'm like, I can't fucking do this. So I'm already like, we beat the game. I'm already crying. And like, I lean over and I'm like leaning on his chest, hoping he doesn't notice. And the game cycles back to the intro screen so that it starts playing the beginning of something. And then it like cycles to the other opening song, which is called Home. And then it cycles back to the beginning of something. And like every time it cycles back, I digress. So I decided I wanted to speedrun this game.
You're like sitting there sobbing. You're like, I love it so much. I want to do it fast.
The first few times I ran the game, when I got to that ending part, I did tear up.
Uh-huh.
And I have since taken world record in good ending and bad ending.
Yeah.
Yay.
Woohoo.
I'm desperately trying to convince Tom to run it with me, and he's going to. I just have to like grab him and sit him down and make him.
Yeah.
because no one runs co-op yet. Well, one person is running it. They're doing it with Steam Co-op. We're going to be doing local. But it's been really good. Like, I really love the game. It's a lot of very precise movement. And there's a couple battles that are RNG, which kind of sucks because they're like 30 minutes into this 49-minute run.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so like you could have a great run and everything looks good, and then there's 2 RNG fights back to back that could just goodbye. But yeah, I was running that a lot and I love it. I really, really love that game. It means a lot to me, and it's just a beautiful. I have a poster from it. Will this hold on.
Here we go. We're going.
Wait,
Here we go.
wait. This way.
This way?
Oh god, this way.
Here we go.
Oh, you can't see it.
You can't see it, but I'm going to trust you.
Anyways, I have a poster from it, and it's over there.
I love that. And what got you to like start just pushing to speedrun? Like, you had that gap where you were like, I'm not a speedrunner, even though you had already done a GDQ run, you know, a Fatales run or whatever, but you're like, I'm not really a speedrunner. Like, what was it that was like, I'm just going to do it?
I think it was all the Faz and then Golf It, because like we played so much Faz, and it's like, I can't deny this anymore. And then Bath is like, I want to run another game with you. Let's just look at co-op games. And they were like, Golf It looks like a game. And we're like, all right, let's do it. And we just kind of dove right in.
And it's not even the first game I would think of for a speed run, like ever. When I heard you were running Golf It, I was like, how do you do that? Like, other than just being really good at like the angles and stuff, I was like, is there a trick to it? It was fascinating to watch.
It's angles and knowing when you can abuse other holes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are the odds we
Oh
tied?
my God.
It's amazing. What are you doing? Heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. What's going on? I don't understand.
My context for knowing you has always been GDQ. And I had no concept beyond GDQ until after I met you that you do many other things. I should have known because you have the voice of an angel. But you are a voice actress, and you have been in a game in the past year, which is really cool. At least one game that I know of that is like
at least one game.
Really fucking cool. And then your involvement with No Sleep, which I also had no idea until like well after I met you. So like how did you get involved with No Sleep? How'd you get involved with voice acting? Where'd that start?
Yeah, so voice acting started before No Sleep. I found, like, I don't even know how I found it, but I found a project looking for voices. I will not say what it was a fan project of, but it was a fan project.
Were you a fan, or were you just like, I'm gonna slip in
I kind of just slipped in. Like, I wasn't a super huge fan of the subject matter that it was on. It was awful. So let me backtrack. The animation that they did was gorgeous. The other voice actor, brilliant. Also, she was a professional. Mine, however, was terrible. This video got over 6 million views.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's that. I'm very glad I didn't go by Nichole Goodnight back then, because no one can find the video, and that's okay.
Oh, that's interesting lore.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's real fucking bad. Plus I was a little sick when I recorded it, but all that aside, it still wasn't going to be good because it was like my first thing.
Yeah.
That aside, I heard No Sleep while I was watching someone draw on an old art site. And I was like, this is really neat. Like, what is this? It's just spooky stories, just filling my ears. I love this very much. And I went to the website, and they were looking for volunteers for people to narrate. And much like GDQ, I said, I can never do this. And I closed the page. And then like months later, I was like, well, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I can apply. They cannot get back to me. That's fine. I have the memory of a fish. So I won't even remember I replied. It's fine. So I applied, and they got back to me. And he was like, hey, can you give me an example of you narrating something? So I did. And he was like, you're on. And I didn't even know this was like a paid gig at the time. I had no idea I was getting myself into like actually being able to be considered a professional paid voice actor. And it was. And I joined No Sleep in 2014.
Wild.
So 9 years ago. Yeah, it's absolutely. And like since then, I've gotten to do 3 US tours. I've done a number of shows in Canada. We've done some shows at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, which is
cool.
Really fun. I've got to meet one of my favorite directors, Mike Flanagan, whom I adore, and Kate Siegel, who I love.
So
I have the cutest picture of. So Mike and Kate came to our 2017 show. And they're just the sweetest people. And I got to see them again. I want to say it was last year in Colorado because they came to the Stanley where we did a thing with No Sleep and with Doctor Sleep. And I got to perform on stage next to them. Like it was just wild. It was
crazy.
absolutely wild. I was like, what is my life? Kate and I were like got to sit next to each other, and she's just like the sweetest bean, and Mike is just the sweetest. Like they're just the nicest people, and I had the best time. But yeah, so that's how I kind of like I got into No Sleep. And then from No Sleep, No Sleep's friends with someone who runs SCP Pod, so I got into SCP Pod.
Mm-hmm.
And then Creepy is another podcast that was done by someone who really liked No Sleep and wanted to do things on his own, and he's amazing at it. Creepy is so good. So I sometimes do things for Creepy, and then like that all spiraled into just people who had horror podcasts would sometimes come to me, which is just like the weirdest thing. And then like that somehow, I don't even know, I somehow got involved with Dread. And
Yeah.
and then I did a voice line for Dread XP The Hunt, which was super cool. He was like, hey, can you do like this radio thing? It's about Squirrel Stapler. And I was like, I've never played Squirrel Stapler. And Ted
Are
was
you
like,
in
play Squirrel Stapler.
Stapler?
I'm not in Squirrel Stapler, but I'm in The Hunt on the radio. So there's, if you listen
Like
to
in
the radio,
general.
yeah, there's
Okay.
people calling in, and there's a lady calling in about her husband who is stapling squirrels. So I played Squirrel Stapler, loved it.
It's so cool.
It's so good. And so I got to do that, and then I'm going to be voicing in as like a side character, a couple lines in Sucker for Love 2, which I'm super excited about.
Stop, that's so cool.
Yeah, I when I was telling people I was about it, I was like, don't go in there thinking that I'm like I'm not a main character, but I'm like they could have given me like the word no, and I would have been just as excited.
Yeah,
because I get to be in it. This is so cool. And then of course Slay the Princess, which is coming out before Halloween.
Soon. That's
soon,
like so
TM.
soon. Yeah.
I've recorded a lot for it already, and it is 10 times larger than the first demo that we put out and about 6 times larger than the second demo we put out. It took me, someone who knows what paths to go, 3 hours to do the second demo.
Wow.
So the final game, it was over 100,000 words. It is a lot bigger than I think any of us thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
We got the fucking vocalist from Hollow Knight to be in one of our songs.
Really?
Like, yeah.
That's
like,
so fucking cool.
Brandon Boone's our composer, and he's like, hey, I got Amelia. And I was like, you did what? And he's like, you're not playing Hollow Knight because of the news? It's like, what news? And he's like, Amelia's going to be in one of our Slay the Princess songs. I was like, what do you mean?
Oh my gosh.
I made him invite me to that meeting where she was like recording for it. So I got to watch and listen to her sing like in real time. It was the most like, I had my camera off, which is good because I was like almost in tears. Her voice is just like operatic gold. It's beautiful, and she is just the sweetest person. It was so fun. That is
really cool.
I'm so excited. I have this bowl of mac and milk looking at me this whole time, and
I'm so sorry. Everything good you've been talking about is just like hindered.
And then
by
I look down and I'm like,
mac and milk. You're like, fuck,
God damn it.
Why did I do this? You did it because you're dedicated, and I admire that about you.
Dedicated.
Yeah.
I came prepared.
Hardworking, dedicated, Nichole Goodnight.
That's me. Definitely not the thing I said earlier.
Mac and milk banner at the top. Nichole Goodnight. Yeah. You are undeniably probably one of the coolest people I know.
I'm sorry.
No, but like,
sorry about that.
No, you really are though. You just like have all these interesting like paths you've taken, and I think that's so fucking cool because you are genuinely like so nice and so sweet, and I think you deserve all the good things. So I'm super happy and excited to see Slay the Princess come out, because if we didn't say this already, you are the princess. Like, you are.
I am
the main character,
which is still surprising to me. They reached out to me sometime, I think it was last year or the end of the year before, and they're like, hey, we're making a game, do you want to be in it? I was like, sure. And they're like, it's called Slay the Princess, you would be the princess. And I was like, do you have the right person?
Why did you think that?
Because I could not fathom someone coming to me and being like, hey, I'm making a cool game because I'm a cool person, do you want a voice in it? Like, that's just foreign to me. It doesn't make sense. I'm rather confused still. And they know this. Like I've told them this. I've been like,
Yeah.
I thought you messaged the wrong Nichole Goodnight or something. I don't know. And they're like, we didn't make a mistake, Nichole. You're fine.
What is your like ideal character to play?
So like I say this not because it's coming out and not as like play this game because this is it. But I think it's the princess because I've always been typecast as the hopeless, innocent person who doesn't know what's going on and she's so scared and confused. And in Slay the Princess, I get a chance to be that too. So I get to play into that, but I also get a chance to be a slew of other things. So each like there's like 15 plus different voices for the princess, which are all distinctly me, but all have a different spin on them to make them each unique. So I get to play, the helpless, innocent damsel, but also the sharp, I want to kill you razor, but also the I'm going to step on you, call me mommy tower. So it's very like a wide range of characters that I get to play, and it's really, really cool. I get to play like the, sweet, innocent, you didn't bring a knife to come kill me, or the I'm going to be cold and sassy because you're holding a knife. And it's just like there's so many things that I get to do in this game that I don't think there's any other role that would allow me to kind of have such a wide variety of things that I play.
Yeah.
Because no other role is going to be like, okay, you're this one person, but you're also like 15 people.
You're not actually going to try and slay me or anything, right? Because I wouldn't if I were you. If you try, I'll kill you as many times as it takes.
There's very distinct different personalities, but they are all they're all me, but they're all just something a little different about each one. And it's a lot of fun. And I record them all on a call with the directors or with the person who's writing it. So he can actually like live direct me how he kind of sees the character doing. So if I don't do something not right, because like anything I record is right in its own way, but if I don't do something as he intended or as he envisioned it, he can have me do another take right there. And there's been a lot of times where he's like, actually, I like the way you did it. So it's really like it's a very big collaborative effort between the writer, the artist is on the call. They're a married team. They're amazing. Tony and Abby, who are Black Tabby Studios, and it's Tabby because Tony and Abby.
Oh, that's cute.
Very cute. They are amazing. They're a pleasure to work for. They are the most understanding, sweet people in the whole world. They're like the whole reason I got to go to what was it? It was PAX?
PAX East,
Was it
because I was
PAX?
there.
Yeah, they're why I got to go. And
Yeah.
it's like weird. It's still weird to me that I get to be involved in something as cool as this. And I got to meet so many people and that played the demo. And God, it was a lot of fun. I love it. And they're amazing. I absolutely adore them. I'm so excited. And I've played their game Scarlet Hollow before I ever got involved with Slay the Princess. And I loved it. Like I streamed it and I voiced each of the characters. And that's, I think, part of what brought them to me is they heard how I voiced all the different characters. And it was so fun. Play Scarlet Hollow. It's a very good game.
I don't think I know you've mentioned it before, but I don't even know what kind of.
It's an episodic visual novel where all of your choices matter. And it is got cryptids. It's so good.
Oh, it's
so
like
good.
a 10 out of 10 on Steam. Like it is pretty
it
well
is
beloved.
A very highly rated game. There's no voice acting, so you will be if you're streaming it, you'll be reading it all yourself or being like chat, you do whatever to read this yourself.
Yeah.
But it is phenomenally written. Everything that is in that game and Slay the Princess is hand drawn. And I don't mean that like on a tablet. I mean, she draws these on paper and scans them in.
That's crazy.
Everything is paper and pencil. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And the story is amazing. And it's just, I love Scarlet Hollow. I adore Scarlet Hollow. There's not all the episodes are out yet, but each episode is like longer than the previous one. So there's a lot of content already. I still haven't played the most recent one, and I need to. I just haven't yet because it's a big beefy boy, and I kind of want to start from the beginning again because I played through the first few episodes like years ago, like over a year ago, and I have again the memory of a goldfish, and I remember nothing that I do in my life.
Is is that something that they're still working on in tandem with Slay the
Yes.
Princess? Holy shit. I can't
Yeah.
imagine doing that.
They have been very busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Slay the Princess will be before Halloween. So we are all very excited about that.
Yay.
I cannot wait. I still can't believe. I still think they misclicked and are just covering it up and are like, yeah, Nichole, we totally meant you. But
But they're too deep in at this
they're
point.
too
And they
deep in
can't
it now.
say
Like, what are they
anything.
going to do now?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, I'm pretty sure it was meant to be you, but like you keep telling yourself that they
I'm gonna.
clicked on the wrong person.
Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm already doing this.
It's very good though. I'm very excited.
I'm
It's been,
super excited to play it. I cannot wait to hear you. I can't wait to see everything that they've created and just get to see you play all the characters that you
so
you wanna play.
excited. And Johnny Sims is really nice too. He's the voice of the Magnus Archives and he's the narrator. And it's very good. I'm very excited.
I'm super excited. Well, is there anything else? Because I know you have streaming and whatnot to get to today, so I don't want to keep you forever. But is there anything else?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's right. You stream really fucking late, and I think that's.
I'm doing a collab today, and he's like, "Can we start at 10 your time?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Why not?
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, would you like to promote your stream? Is there anything other than Slay the Princess you want to promote?
I think Slay the Princess is the biggest thing I'm working on right now. My stream is cursed. It's very cursed. You can come to it if you want. It is twitch.tv/Nichole Goodnight. And there's an H in Nichole because I play golf it, and you can't have golf without holes. And Nichole has an H, so I was destined to play golf, which is we've come full circle.
I really love that reasoning, and I think that's of
Thanks.
sound mind.
It makes sense. I explained it on GDQ, and Barry's like, and Bath and Jan has in it,
Right.
and you go in the hole. I was like, yeah.
What
we
are you
were meant to do
insinuating?
this. We were
So
meant
you're
to
the
go.
hole, and Bath is the inn.
Yeah, so together we are in the hole.
Thank you so much
Anyways,
for joining
no.
me. Genuinely, thank you for doing this. I absolutely adore you. You know this, and you are just like the coolest. So that is it for us. That is it for us. Everyone else, go make yourself a bowl of mac and milk, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.